how's it going, everyone? Today I'm going to be talking about should you summon for the Skill Elemental Blazing Bash banner, which is interesting to say the least. They do this from time to time where they give you a typing and they give you a boost of it by giving you a Blazing Bash specific to it. So for next week, we are going to be having the boost for the skill type Darui. That makes sense why they went ahead and gave us a skill type banner. Now, this banner though, I just personally don't think you should summon on it. I mean, the thing is, JP also has this banner alongside Darui, but we only have this right now, and then we'll get Darui next week. You won't have both of them at the same time, so you have to decide whether you want this or the Darui. Now, the Darui is probably one of the best skill type Blazing Bash units in the game, I think, in my opinion. I think he's pretty cool. Definitely a lot better than anything that's in this. So if you do want to summon for him, if you saw my video talking about him, then I would recommend skipping this. But just talking about this banner as a whole, it's not very good, and it's not completely their fault. I mean, skill types have never been super prevalent. In my opinion, they really haven't. Like, even when it comes to just Blazing Bash, like we had the dual Rinnegan Madara, which was Blazing Fest, but not Blazing Bash. He was really good a lot, but as far as Blazing Bash goes for the skill type, there's just not a lot of good ones in my opinion. There really aren't. So this banner is just very lackluster. So Nagato is probably the newest one that we have here. He's not a bad unit. I mean, I see him a lot nowadays, but the only thing he can do is just make it where he can't be touched. And that's not a bad thing, it really isn't, but I just think he lacks in some areas, so he's nothing crazy, and you're not guaranteed to get him, so there is that. Now, I think that they made a mistake too by featuring some of the worst skill Blazing Bash units and just Blazing Bash units in general. Kabuto and Kisame, they are very bad. Very, very bad Blazing Bash units, super bad. Obito, he's kind of bad too. Kakashi, he's really old and kind of bad. Everyone, just everyone here, they're super old too, and they're not good. Now, what I think they also made a mistake on, the only good Blazing Bash unit in this banner, in my opinion, aside from maybe Nagato, is Madara, because he's a 7-star now, but they didn't include him in the featured, so the rates aren't even going to be increased for the Madara. He's just going to be at that standard rate, so you're not even going to have a high chance to get the 7-star Madara, which is kind of a sad face. That would have been really good for them to put on one of the steps. Like, that was the opportunity right there, but they didn't. So unfortunately, 7-star Madara isn't even going to be a super high chance, but he is in this. He really is. So if you look at the first step, 40 pearls, second step, 40 pearls, third, 40, and then 50. So as you can see, not too many steps and not too many pearls at that. I believe that is going to be 170 pearls, so not bad. I could honestly do that, to be honest, but I'm not going to. On the first step, you have an increased race for Kabuto, then Kisame, then Nagato, because Nagato is the best. Of course, they put him for last, and then guaranteed on the fourth step. But it's just not worth it. Like, those units just really aren't good. Now, I could definitely see the use for some of these units, like, if they were actually decent, because we do need better skill type units. Like, the only one that we really have for Blazing Bash, in my opinion, is the 7-star Madara. And once he's a 7-star, man, he smacks the body typing. Like, some of the best units in the game for PvP are body type units. You have Shisui, you have also 5-Kage League Gaara, and the list goes on. And what's really good is 7-star Madara can one-shot a lot of those units or get them very weak, which is very important. They definitely should have put a step up for him, but Darui's not a bad unit. He's really good for damage and stuff too, which I think, so you should definitely take him into consideration just a little bit. But yeah, this banner is kind of whack, man. It just really is. It's not worth it. It's not. I mean, even with the 2% boost you get for these units, like Nagato's the only one, like I said, but even Nagato, I find myself not even stressing over him nowadays, so you don't need to worry about it. And another thing is too, you don't really need to focus on that right now. Like I talked about this in my last video, there's the Clash Coin Shop right now, which has all the 5-Kage League units that we've had, minus Tsunade. I didn't talk about that. They didn't give us Tsunade in here, which I actually don't have Tsunade still, so I wish they would give us Tsunade. I mean, they gave us this one, but that's not a 5-Kage League Tsunade, that's an old one, and I feel like maybe they got it mixed up. But yeah, you should definitely be focusing on PvP this week, just grinding up against the bots if you're over here on Global, and just getting one of these units. Honestly, like the 5-Kage League Hinata, she's a pretty good skill type unit, but she's kind of what the Pain or the Nagato is, because she has it where she can't be touched. But the only problem with that is that you have to get to her ult, and she's a 4-8 chakra, and she's single target, which is not great on both of her jutsu. Like this Hinata, I think I have her max duped if I remember, just because I actually really like Hinata. You guys know that's my waifu, so I grinded her up. She was one of the last 5 Kage League units that I grinded for, if not the last one. I didn't max dupe her, but you do kind of need it just a little bit, but she was nothing really crazy. And where I think she lacked is the fact that you have to sync with all except for long range, which at that time when she came out wasn't necessarily in my capability for the immobilization. But she's not a bad unit just because look at everything she does. I mean, she's single target, that's what makes her kind of bad, but she has 40% chance of switch sealing for 3 turns, chakra recovery, which a lot of units have kind of just resistance to both of those, but she reduces the chakra of one enemy for 3. That's a lot, man. That's a lot of chakra being stolen. And then again, if you were able to get her ult, especially if you have a chakra reset, then she can't be touched by anything, just like Nagato. So there's that. But Hinata's kind of, she's not that great either. She's really not. And I mean, she's a 5 Kage League unit. I wouldn't recommend going for her. She's not even too fast by today's standards. But when it comes to any other skill type, I mean, like I said, we're really lacking when it comes to it. Like, this Madara is the best one that you probably have a chance to take, and it's just because he's a 7-star. Like, 7-stars are monsters, man. They really are. 57k health if you get the damage. He's extremely fast too if you get the speed boost and things of that nature. You need the rest of these though as well. I was never fortunate to pull a lot of him back then, so I'm kind of lacking on it. But just the damage, man. Like, he's a short range unit, so 6,000 damage. It's just the strength, it's just crazy, man. Like, he can just wipe them out. But other than that, there's really nothing else. I mean, yeah, don't summon on this banner. Just save up for the homie Darui if that's what you want. Another good unit, like I said, Dual Rinnegan Madara that you could use back in the day for the 3/6 chakra. And I mean, I see why they would implement this, especially with the boost. Unfortunately, this Obito right here, he's not that great of a unit. Even when he came out, I mean, he rolls back the speed a little bit, but he doesn't have that high damage either. So you just need to watch out for it, man. But if you have the 7-star Madara, or if you want him, there is a chance you could get him from the banner. He's really good, but it's a very, very extremely low chance. So yeah, just be careful of that. And over here on Global, we will be having PvP into the next couple of days, going into the next week. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna try to grind up the Clash coins that I need by then, so I can go ahead and grab my boy Killer B. That'll make it so much easier on me, but I'll definitely have him before Kage League, so it'll make it a lot easier for me. But yeah, with that said, I hope y'all enjoyed this. Let me know if you guys are gonna be summoning for Darui, because I'm still interested in that. I feel like a lot of people aren't, but he's not a bad unit by any means. He's just kind of underwhelming compared to what we got before, which was Sage of Six Paths Madara. But yeah, that's gonna do it. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.